She was young, full of dreams, and had a heart that wanted to do something meaningful. Every night before sleeping, she imagined herself excelling in her studies, working on creative projects, or building the future she always wished for. In her mind, she was unstoppable. She could see herself winning, achieving, and living a life that would make her proud. But every morning, when the sun rose and reality returned, something else took over. Procrastination. At first, it felt small, almost harmless. She told herself, "I'll start tomorrow. I just need a little break today." She picked up her phone, scrolled endlessly, and convinced herself it was just relaxation. Hours slipped by, and the important tasks remained untouched. A voice inside her whispered excuses: "You're too tired. You'll do better later. There's still plenty of time." That voice of doubt grew stronger each day, until it became a part of her routine. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Deadlines came and went, leaving her with unfinished assignments, half-hearted efforts, and a growing mountain of guilt. She wanted to change, but she didn't know how. Each time she failed to take action, her confidence broke a little more. She began comparing herself with others, friends who were moving ahead, achieving, and shining, while she felt stuck in the same place, chained by her own hesitation. Every missed opportunity hurt like a wound. She promised herself that next time would be different, but when the moment arrived, she found herself repeating the same cycle, waiting, delaying, escaping. She hated that feeling of wasting her own potential, but she couldn't break free. The regret haunted her. At night, when everything was quiet, she thought about the life she could have lived if only she had acted sooner. Those thoughts made her chest heavy, her eyes wet, and her heart restless. There were moments when she tried to push through. She sat at her desk, opened her books or laptop, and told herself, "This time, I'll focus." But minutes later, distractions found her again. One video, one message, one excuse, and she was back to square one. The guilt grew heavier, and the inner voice of doubt got louder, telling her she was not strong enough, not disciplined enough, not good enough. She felt trapped in a cage with invisible bars made of fear, hesitation, and endless procrastination. Fear of failing if she tried. Fear of facing the effort it would take. Fear of leaving her comfort zone. Those fears kept her locked in place, watching life move forward while she stood still. But deep inside, she still carried a spark. She still dreamed, still imagined, still longed for freedom from this endless cycle. And that longing made her restless. She knew she couldn't keep living like this. She couldn't keep letting opportunities pass by. She couldn't keep breaking promises to herself. Something had to change, because if she didn't fight this battle now, procrastination would not just steal her time, it would steal her entire future. One evening, as she sat alone staring at her unfinished work, something inside her shifted. She asked herself a simple but painful question: if I keep living like this, where will I be in 5 years? The silence that followed was heavy. She imagined a future filled with regret, missed chances, and a life that looked nothing like the one she dreamed of. That thought scared her more than effort, more than failure. For the first time, she realized that procrastination was not protecting her. It was destroying her. The next morning, she decided to try something different. Not everything at once, not a big transformation overnight, but one small action. She picked the easiest task on her list and told herself she would only do it for 10 minutes. And for the first time in a long while, she didn't delay. She started. Those 10 minutes turned into 20. And by the end of the day, she had finished more than she expected. It wasn't much, but it was enough to spark hope. She began to study her patterns. She noticed how the phone became her biggest trap, how the inner voice of excuses always came when she felt fear, and how starting small made the task less scary. So, she created a plan. She broke her big goals into small, clear steps. She set tiny deadlines. She rewarded herself for finishing, even if it was just a small celebration like listening to her favorite song. Day by day, she practiced discipline. Some days were harder than others. There were times she slipped back into old habits, but this time she didn't give up. Instead of waiting for motivation, she focused on action. Even if she didn't feel like it, she forced herself to take the first step. And every time she did, momentum carried her forward. Slowly, the chains of procrastination began to break. With each completed task, her confidence returned. The voice of doubt grew weaker, replaced by a new voice that said, "See, you can do this." She started to believe in herself again. She no longer feared hard work. She no longer delayed out of fear of failure. She understood now that the true failure was in not trying at all. Weeks later, she looked back at her progress and felt a surge of pride. Her grades improved, her projects moved forward, and her life felt lighter. She wasn't perfect, but she was free. Free from the endless cycle that once kept her trapped. She realized that procrastination had never been about laziness, it had been about fear. And once she faced that fear with action, she discovered her strength. The lesson was clear: progress doesn't come from waiting for the perfect time. It comes from starting, no matter how small. Her story is not just hers, it's a mirror for anyone who feels stuck. She was once like you, full of dreams but chained by delay. And if she could break free, so can you. All it takes is one small action today. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. Remember this: procrastination steals your time, but action gives it back. The life you want is waiting, but it won't wait forever. Start now, because your future self is counting on you.